Hi guys, today I want to talk about something that may seem really basic and almost like we shouldn't even have to be talking about this, but it's necessary and it's really practical when it comes down to it. If you don't put, take the initiative to make it happen, it's not going to happen. It has everything to do with your Christian walk or your following Jesus. And so we're going to talk about that in a bit, but first, for anyone that is new to this channel, my name is Susan Morales, and my channel is all about learning how to follow Jesus, and we go into like different areas of life and just ask a lot of questions and try to find the answers in the Bible. And so that's what this channel is mostly about. I also wanted to share with you, for anyone that would be interested in supporting me on another level, besides the liking, commenting, sharing my videos, I would like to extend this opportunity for anyone that would like to support me through Patreon. I will provide that link in the description of this video. And the reason why I am asking anyone that would like to support me this way is for the purposes of like improving my channel. Like certain equipment costs money, and so far, all of that equipment has come from, our household income. And if anyone out there would love to pay for those kind of things, and that way it doesn't have to come out of our household income, I would love for you to have that opportunity. But there's also another reason. So for those of you who have followed me like for a while now, I think I've been doing this channel for about a year. And I started it pretty much just kind of sharing my journey of, I guess, discovering that I was following the prosperity gospel and that I was not aware of all of this great information out there about the Bible, and learning to read the Bible the correct way and not just kind of taking Bible verses here and there and you creating the meaning that you want from it. So I've shared that journey with you. You could go back and look at all those videos. And in that journey, I've had the great opportunity of asking these really great and insightful Christians many questions, and I plan on continuing doing that because I do want to continue to grow in my knowledge of God and how I am to apply, His Word to my life personally, practically. But there's only so many times that I can uh, ask a question to these wonderful people and send an email to like a pastor. I mean, everyone is so busy and everyone has a million things that they have to do. So I'm kind of thinking, back in the day when Jesus was teaching, and for example, the part about Martha and Mary, the famous story where Martha wants Mary to come and help her with whatever she was doing. She was so busy, like with her responsibilities, but Mary wants to sit at Jesus' feet and learn. And, Jesus let her, and he even praised her for doing what was most important and taking advantage of that once in a lifetime opportunity that was given to her, right? And so I definitely see that God uh, promotes women learning about Him. So that has encouraged me in the direction of pursuing like formal education when it comes to theology, Christian apologetics. And where I'm at right now, this I would like to start off by getting the most simple and like affordable option right now. So I have actually registered into the it's the Biola Christian Apologetics Certificate program that they offer completely online, and it's something that I can manage because I can do it at my own pace. And I'm really excited, and I've just started started that. And I am really encouraged by what I'm learning, and I would like to share it with you. Not like all the notes, but more like just kind of like a takeaway from that and from what I'm learning. And so this video is kind of the result of something that I heard, and I'm just sharing with you like my added thoughts on it. And so I will be doing that with a lot of the videos that I will be sharing the next months to come. But it's not that affordable for someone in my situation, and I don't mind like giving up something in order to have this, set apart some money for this. But if you would like to be a part of that and support me, you could go to the Patreon link, because I also would love to pursue a certificate in theology as well. So that would be something that I would save that money for when the time comes to pay for that. So I'm just being really open and honest, and if nobody is interested, that's completely fine, and I will just find the way to pay for it. But I do appreciate a couple of people that have said yes, that they want to be Patreons with me, and I really do appreciate it, and I feel so encouraged, and yeah, it means a lot to me, so thank you very much for partnering with me. And for anyone that cannot, I would really appreciate your prayers, and that's plenty. So let's get into it. The video for today is going to be talking about a topic that came up in one of the lectures, and it has to do with like the whole culture that we live in, where we are so entertained, and we don't spend a lot of time reading as much. And this actually has an impact in our Christianity. So I just kind of looked up a few surveys or some statistics, and I came across one that says that approximately 32 million adults in the United States can't read, according to the U.S. Department of Education and the National Institute of Literacy. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development found that 50% of U.S. adults can't read a book written at an 8th grade level. So pretty much like half of the United States is at 8th grade level of reading or lower. And I think that probably explains why a lot of people don't enjoy reading or avoid it. Like as soon as school was like done, I never have to read another book ever again. Or we kind of just become really comfortable with choosing other options. I know for me personally, I have become really lazy about reading. Like even on social media, when people write like a long post, I just feel like I don't have time. I would love to, but I feel like I need patience and just and usually I don't read them because I would just prefer seeing a video, kind of like what I'm doing right now. If I could see, a video of you saying the same thing that you would say in a blog, for example, I definitely prefer seeing the video. But um, there is a problem with having that mentality. And I think that like the younger generation has grown up in a completely different world than even like the world that I grew up in. I remember as a child, there were barely any not so boring cartoons. And that was fine. Like I was happy with whatever non-cable cartoons were available to me at my age. Um, but now my kids, they have way more options than like they could even watch, and I noticed it impacts their view of reading a book. Of course, they would rather watch, an iPad or their TV shows, and they can watch a bunch if I let them. But like all of a sudden, when I say let's turn it off, maybe read a book, it doesn't seem as enjoyable anymore. Versus like if you just don't turn on the TV, you get them used to just like not being so entertained, and you will find my kids like not even being asked, they will go sit down with the book. And I think that's kind of what is happening in our culture. Like we opt for entertainment all the time on our social media, on our phones. I think we're addicted. I mean, if I'm honest, I feel that I have become addicted to my social media, to being on my phone, to not just being like still and quiet, just eating a meal. I feel like I constantly have to be watching something. And I think it does have, I mean, there are like studies out there that are telling us like all the damaging consequences of overusing, our phones and things like that. So, there's a problem, but it goes further than that, and it applies to Christianity in a different level. Oh, the helicopters. They always fly over our home around this time. I'm just gonna talk. I came across another survey that says that in the year 2014, about 4 in 10 Christians, so 42%, said reading the Bible or other religious materials is an essential part of what being Christian means to them personally. So that's half of Christians that are saying, yes, reading the Bible is, very essential to my being a Christian. And I can identify with the percentage that says that now, but I could also identify with the percentage that didn't say that just recently. Like, I remember just, and I think anyone can fall into this if you're not intentional. Even if you do believe that it is an essential part of your being a Christian, like if you are not intentional each and every day to set apart some time and to just realize this is important. This is more important than other things that I can be doing, entertaining myself, or, even productive things that I would like to do. But it's, those things are taking away time from actually like sitting down and reading the Bible. And this whole preference to being entertained, it affects our views of reading the Bible, because our Christianity is based on the Bible, a book. And if we have this negative perception of reading, then that's going to impact our Christianity. And that's why a lot of people are just kind of making it up as they go, and they're just kind of creating their own version of Christianity because, we're not spending the time to really understand this book that has a very specific context, and it's going to require time, your intentional, set apart time to get to know this book correctly, study it, and better than any other book or any other thing that we become experts in this life. And why is it important for us to study the Bible? Because you don't know the God that you think you know unless you know the Bible. Christianity is not supposed to be just something that is heavily based on our emotions. There is a place for our emotions, our experiences with God, things that we have experienced, like prayers being answered, miracles, a sense of like a person being here, like sometimes during worship or other times, like where when we're like spending time with Him or in His Word. God is a personal God. He's not just some type of like other religions teach that He's like some like the universe or something, like not a person. God is a person, and so like all people, you have to get to know a person, and the way that you do that is by like observing them. And how can you observe God? Well, you have the Bible. The Bible is this special revelation of God Himself, that He is communicating to us who He is, what He has done, what He's going to do, what He expects from us, and so on. So, if I want to get to know someone, I'm going to need to spend time with them. And, that looks like, praying with God. That means talking to Him, because we talk to people, right? People that we are in relation with, we talk to them. But we also listen. We ask questions and we listen to learn about people. And when we read the Bible, we are learning, we are listening to who God is.
Confronting as an unfirm.
I was listening to Sociology 101. So all of that to say, we need to understand that reading is something that we as Americans desperately need to embrace again, despite all of the entertainment that is available to us and competes for our attention. Watching a movie or any other types of communications are not going to be at the same level as like reading an actual book, because just the level of thought process involved when you're reading a book is so very different. It involves your whole mind, and you're thinking through these things. And yeah, it might be boring at times, or you might have to pause, but like we can develop the skills. The more we do it, the easier it'll get. If perhaps you're on, you struggle with reading or find it fun, yeah. Like I tell my son, who tells me school is not fun. Like, school toys are not fun. Nothing about school is fun, because he would rather just be playing all day. And I get that. I would love to do that too. But I tell him, we don't have to do things because they're fun. We do things because they're important for us to do. It's important for us to learn. And we're going to need these things in life. So we're going to, do school even though it's not fun. And the same thing goes here. We are going to read our Bibles, even if it's not a fun experience. We need to do it because it is important and because God wants us to. So don't be discouraged if you are not understanding what you are reading. I know that was the reason for me why I felt intimidated to read the Bible sometimes, because I just felt like I don't understand what I'm reading, you know? And so I would rely on other people that said, I know what the Bible is revealing, you know, and then they come to find out they were wrong. So you do need to do your own studying, and there are so many resources out there for us beginners. For example, the one that I have found helpful is, let me make sure I say it right, is the Net Bible, and they have an app. I like to use it on my computer better, but you could use it on your phone too. Another resource that I have on my phone for Bible would be, I mean, you have to have the Bible app itself, right? The Holy Bible, the little brown book. I have also the Blue Letter Bible app, and for like really cool background information or lots of quotes from different commentaries of the past, I have also the Enduring Word app, and yeah, you can find them on the computer as well, or you could just get the app. So for my viewers, I would just really hope to encourage you to please make it a point with me that we are going to read our Bible every single day, and that is normal. That is going to be our normal. We read the Bible every day, and we think it is very essential in our Christian walk because we want to grow. We want to not just, be content with whatever we learned from our childhood in Bible school. We don't want to just rely on someone else's Bible study, which they could be getting it wrong. We don't want to rely on bestsellers, interpretations, philosophy on life, and they add a few verses to it. And we don't want to burden other people to do the work, to answer our questions, that we can find the answers ourselves with all of these resources. And I will attach the things that I mentioned to you, those resources. I'll put them in the description. So whatever that's gonna look like for you, maybe you could choose a book in the Bible, and you can just decide how much of it you're going to read. Maybe you could take it slow. You can read a certain amount of Bible verses and read like a commentary on it, or you could just start by reading like some of the smaller books in the New Testament. Some of those short letters are a quick read. Something that I'm finding helpful, and my kids probably as well, in bedtime when the children are like falling asleep, I have started to read the Bible. Like I'll just read a chapter after a chapter, and eventually like my kids fall asleep. But I think that they find that it's peaceful, and I think that they're absorbing, whatever they hear and whatever stays with them. I'm happy to do that. And at the same time, that's a great opportunity for me to also, put in more time to read the Bible. So sometimes you just have to be creative and find what's going to work best for you in the season of life that you're in, and you're going to probably change it as you go, and that's fine. So that's all I have to say about this, and I hope you find it helpful. And thank you so much for watching this video and all the other videos that you watch, and you support my channel. Thank you. Please leave me a comment, and I'll See you on the next video.